What's up, people? It's X on OX, and today I thought I'd do a little like at least with the upcoming thoughts on the upcoming Daredevil Reborn Again season 2, and given that in mind. All right, now I just want to I'm going to point some things out too about Daredevil Reborn Again season 2. I actually want to look forward to it because the only problems are basically this: Kingpin has been overused. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kingpin's a good villain. He's been done very well. But they don't really try to because Daryl has other crime bosses that are in the mix, like the Owl, or Mr. Fear, or even basically the other villain, other less known villains that also in the Daredevil Ruse Gallery. You can use any of those, but you're just kind of stuck using Kingpin. I get that Kingpin's iconic, I get that. But sadly, they don't try to really do anything else other than just Kingpin kind of doing the same thing. They've been kind of repeating the same plot of, oh, Daredevil's about to finally take down Kingpin. He did that in season 1. Then season 2, he's backing out again. And season 3, it just kind of, like I said, the plot's just kind of like repeating itself with Kingpin. And then not only that, when we move over to, especially, well, okay, no, actually, the other one's a different one, Defenders. But no, Daredevil basically, he could use some other villains, especially the one villains that I know that like the hand ninjas, like they could be a focus, but sadly, even though they kind of are in this continuity, they don't really show them too much. They're barely there, so they don't get the kind of attention that they really should be getting if you're going to put them as antagonists. And what doesn't help is that, like I said, uh, Daryl, with that in mind, with the hand ninjas, they could have definitely pushed things forward to basically, if those of you who are familiar with Shadowlands storyline, we could have had a build up to basically where Daredevil gets possessed by the Beast, aka a demon, that once it possesses him, it basically boosts all his existing abilities. That includes his Brainiac sense. And that also makes him become like the main antagonist of that storyline. But sadly, they didn't really build the hand ninjas up too much in this continuity of Daredevil, especially Born Again. So therefore, we're not going to get any of that from that. But I do wish for them to try to switch things up, because Kingpin, there is such thing as being overused, and Kingpin has been overused. And not to mention, for example, Daredevil's plot was Kingpin kind of overdone himself to death. Especially, especially what thing was okay was Kingpin when he was utilized in other shows like Echo, Hawkeye, even if it was just for a few seconds. It's that just kind of made more sense, at least to put him in other people's stories or something, instead of just, repeating this shit with Daredevil to bring him back with Daredevil again. And that plot has kind of worn itself out. And the only difference is this time he's the mayor. Which, I get that in the comic, if those of you from that he does become the mayor. But they should have at least trying to mix things up or something. Or for at least put in be a decoy antagonist, and then the real antagonist is actually the Owl. Because Daryl does have other villains besides Kingpin that are prime bosses, but they just don't really dive too deep into that and just kind of leave them there and stuff. So it's unfortunate, unfortunately. So with that in mind, and like I said, I see it's, it's the nicest place possible. It's the guy playing Kingpin is doing a fantastic job, but they've kind of overused him in his welcome. So especially when he does become mayor. So, but all I gotta say is that they should just do better and try to, but because looking forward to season 2 with Born Again, it hasn't really been peak like it was in season 1. I'm talking about the first on Netflix Daredevil. Born Again season 1, it was good, but not the strongest Daredevil premise for it. So with that being said, subscribe, and see you guys later. Peace.